for a year while the Meccans got things ready for him. So really, his fortunes did a 180-degree reversal in this short period. I don't have all the details. If you're more interested in it than that, you can write a paper on it. That's the best I can do for you in a short sketch. A lot of famous Meccans came over to Islam at that point. The one who had fought him in the previous battle, at Uhud, famous military commander who had been involved with the Umayyads, the principal clan. The battle, remember, was Uhud. He apparently comes in around this time. And even the leader of the Umayyads at some point here comes in, Abu Sufyan. He's one of the last, of course. And then a very famous person in the history of Islam, Amr ibn al-As, or al-As. I think you'll find a rough breathing mark there, Amr. I'm not sure though, it could be not. Check me out by looking in the books on that. There's a rough and a smooth breathing mark in Arabic, as I explained to you. Boy, it's actually cold in here with the wind blowing. It's amazing. I've never felt this room like this in my whole time at Cal State London. These are names that we'll hear about later, which is why I'm singling them out. And though the Prophet stays in Medina, that's the center of Islamic administration. That's why these surahs that we're going to read are Medinese surahs, where Islam as we know it is developed. But they reflect a little bit of what the activity that's going on historically that we've just set forth. Now when he gets to Medina, the Arab tribes are feuding for some reason. That's why he's been called there. He's looked upon, as I told you, to repeat, like a kahin, a soothsayer, who were often called to resolve disputes because they were thought to be charismatic figures of some kind. But Muslims say, oh, he's not a soothsayer. But he's using the prosody of a soothsayer. That is the Quran, oh, you took her seat, you took her seat. We are saving that for her, okay? Because we know she always comes in about 20 minutes late, so we're always saving her someplace here. Anyway, he used the prosody, the rhymed prose of the Kahans to express himself in the Quran, which is the style of the Quran, it's the style of the Kahans. And so, how would you distinguish him from a Kahin? Well, Muslims say he's better than a Kahin, he's higher. Because he's the Rasul, he's the Rasul Allah, the messenger of God. Not just a Kahin. So they resent that comparison, but I don't know what else you would want to compare him to. So there's that. So he settles the disputes in Mecca. That's how he gets in Medina fairly rapidly. But there are some problems in Medina that persist. It turns out in Medina there is that Jewish population that I had mentioned to you previously that had been there for a long time when it was Yathrib, and were rumored to have brought the date palm plantationing down to Medina from Jericho. And I don't see any reason to contest that point. Jericho is like Palm Springs. It's a date palm plantationing area. In fact, the date palms, as I told you, from Palm Springs were once used to replenish the Jericho date palms because of a disease that had hit them one point earlier in the last century. So it's very similar. You get fruit stands around Jericho the same as you get around Palm Springs if you go out there in the wintertime. Just that the distances are much less in terms of Palestine area. So I don't see any reason why Jewish tribes from Jericho in the wake of the wars against Rome would not necessarily have withdrawn down to northern Arabia, where we know they were there in the Job period, because the Job book, 4th century BC or so, is all North Arabian place names. So the Jews were quite familiar with North Arabia, as they were